You know that feeling you only get from these games, right? That quiet tension when you're exploring, the adrenaline dump when you see a fog gate, and that absolute roar of victory when you finally beat a boss that's been kicking your ass for 3 hours. It's a genre that's just built on that challenge, that atmosphere, and that incredible feeling of discovery. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Magic Game World. Today, we're taking a huge look into the future. A future that's looking wonderfully bleak, brutal, and absolutely beautiful. We've put together a list of 10 of the most anticipated, most exciting, and most innovative Souls-like games coming our way in 2026 and beyond. And look, I gotta be super clear right up front. This is not a ranking list. There's no number 1, no number 10. This is just a showcase of 10 amazing looking games that are each bringing something special to the table. So think of this as your ultimate watch list. Let's dive in. First up, we're kicking things off with a sequel to a game that, let's be real, came out of nowhere and just completely blew us all away. I'm talking about Mortal Shell 2. The first Mortal Shell was this incredibly tight, polished indie gem. The whole mechanic of possessing the bodies of fallen warriors, the shells, was just genius. Well, the team is back, and it looks like they're taking that solid foundation and building a damn cathedral on top of it. They're promising a way bigger world, but they describe it as expansive yet deliberately compact, which to me sounds perfect. All of the discovery, none of the bloat. But the real game changer here, the thing that gets me excited, is that they're getting rid of the traditional stamina system. Just let that sink in for a second. Combat is now all about being unrestricted and adrenaline charged, focusing on shattering an enemy's posture. What that tells me is we're getting a faster, more aggressive, way more fluid style of combat. With deeper weapons and over 60 new dungeons, Mortal Shell 2 isn't just a sequel, it feels like a total reinvention. Okay, so we're going from that grim, methodical pace, and we're slamming the pedal to the floor. If you love the high-stakes combat of a Souls-like, but you crave the speed and pure style of a game like Devil May Cry, you have to be watching Vindictus: Defying Fate. This thing isn't just an action RPG, it feels like a statement of intent. The entire idea is every hit counts, every action matters. This is not slow and steady, this is all about split-second reads, perfect dodges, and devastatingly powerful counters. The gameplay just looks electric. Each character has their own unique skills and moves, so it's all about mechanical mastery and looking as cool as you can possibly be while you're doing it. Yeah, if you want stylish, thrilling, and brutally demanding combat, Vindictus has your name written all over it. Alright, let's pull back from that blistering speed for a minute and step into a world of high fantasy. This next game, though, has a twist that could completely change how we think about progression in these games. This is the Relic First Guardian. The setup is classic epic fantasy. The world's been shattered, you're the last guardian, and you've got to travel the land to find the pieces of a broken relic to save everyone. But here's the hook, and it's a huge one. Your character has no levels. Yeah, you heard me right. No XP grinding, no leveling up. Your character's growth is tied directly to what you do. You get stronger by finding powerful runes, by crafting new gear, by conquering dungeons and claiming the loot inside. This completely changes the gameplay loop. So it's not about finding the best place to grind XP, it's about pure, rewarding exploration and just, well, getting good. It's a bold move, and it makes the Relic one of the most interesting RPGs on this whole list. We've seen some amazing third-person games so far, but what happens when you take the genre and put it right in your face? Even better, what happens when the absolute wizards who made Ghost Runner decide to make a Souls-like? Well, you get Valor Mortis. I mean, the concept alone is just dripping with style. You died for Napoleon, now you're back from the dead to serve him again, only 19th century Europe is a hellscape ravaged by a supernatural plague. Being in first person, the combat is just immediate and visceral. It's all built on parries, dashes, and brutal finishers. And since this is the Ghost Runner team, you know the movement is going to feel incredible. You're wielding corrupted plague powers, navigating this twisted version of history. I mean, this is such a fresh, terrifying, and kinetic take on the genre. I can't wait.
Continuing our journey, this next one feels like it's tapping right into that classic heroic fantasy vein. This is KAIDAN. KAIDAN puts you in the boots of the last guardian of a land that's been lost to a void. It's a story that really speaks to why we love fantasy. A lone hero against impossible odds. You'll be traveling a big, semi-open world looking for fragments of a relic to bring the world back. And just like we saw earlier, the progression here is all about what you find and what you craft, not what level you are. It's shaping up to be a really deep adventure for anyone who wants to be that last little bit of light in a world that's gone dark. So we've played the hero, the savior, but what if a game gave you total freedom, including the freedom to be an absolute menace? Let's talk about Kromlech. This game is way more than just an action RPG. It's a dark fantasy sandbox with bits of roguelite and immersive sim thrown in. You're an adventurer living through the world's final days, and the whole point is deciding how you spend that time. Do you hunt for treasure, try to stop the apocalypse, or do you just pillage and burn your way across the world? The choice is yours. The level of player freedom they're talking about here looks incredible. You can inscribe weapons with words of power, gain renown by performing heroic deeds to earn powerful titles. It looks like a truly reactive world, and that makes Kromlech a super exciting prospect for anyone who wants to forge their own legend. You know, a lot of these games are about lonely, isolated heroes, right? Well, our next game takes that whole idea and flips it on its head, and it looks like it could be one of the most emotional journeys in the genre. This is Beast of Reincarnation. Set in a hauntingly beautiful post-apocalyptic Japan, this is a one-person, one-dog action RPG. You play as Emma, an outcast, and her loyal canine companion, Ku. The entire game is built around that bond, and it's not a gimmick, it's the core mechanic. As you travel together, your bond strengthens, and that unlocks strange and powerful new abilities. It's a progression system that's tied directly to the story. But don't let the emotional side fool you. They're promising demanding, technical combat that will push you to your limits. A unique setting, a story with some real heart, and that brutal combat we crave. Yeah, Beast of Reincarnation could be something really special. Speaking of partners, our next game is a sequel that's all about that partner system. That's right, Code Vein 2 is back, and it's bigger than ever. The first game got a massive fan base for its insane build variety, its unforgettable style, and that feeling of having a real ally by your side. The sequel is doubling down on all of it and adding a brand new hook: time travel. A new threat is turning revenants into monsters, and the only way to stop it is to journey into the past. This means you'll be actively altering the fates of characters, which sounds awesome. The signature blood-draining combat is back with a new, more flexible build system, and of course, the partners are back. It's basically everything fans have been begging for, and then some. We've seen a lot of classic fantasy today, but our next game is taking us somewhere fresh, vibrant, and so exciting for the genre. People are describing this as what happens when Assassin's Creed and Dark Souls have a baby set in the stunning world of ancient India. This is the Age of Bhaarat. This game is an absolute feast for the eyes. It's a dark fantasy action RPG that brings Indian epics like the Ramayana to life. You're a forest warden defending your homeland from a demonic invasion, but the thing that really makes this stand out is the grappling hook. And it's not just for getting around. No, it's fully baked into the combat, letting you fly through battles and strike from above. It creates this dynamic, acrobatic dance of death that just shatters the grounded feel of a typical Soulslike. Throw in a story written by a best-selling author, and you have a game that feels not just new, but really important. And that brings us to our final game for this showcase. We're circling back to a concept from earlier, but this one looks like it's trying to perfect it. So prepare yourselves for what could be the definitive first-person Souls-like, Covenant. This game just screams confidence and ambition. You're the last messenger in a huge, interconnected dark fantasy world, trying to figure out why your predecessor fell into darkness. But the story is just the stage for what looks to be a masterclass in first-person combat. I'm talking a system so deep, it looks like a fighting game. You can kick, grab, roll, execute, slide around corners, kick off walls. It just looks incredibly fluid. But the heart of this game, the system that has me unbelievably hyped, is the stance system. In this game, stances don't just change your attacks, they change everything. Your running animation, your dodge, your jump, your entire combat identity is transformed with each stance. It's a system that promises a staggering level of depth and player expression that will reward true mastery. It's dark, it's beautiful, it's ambitious as hell, and it's a perfect way to round out our look at the future.
And that's the list. 10 incredible, wildly different games, all pushing the boundaries of what a Souls-like can be. From first-person masterpieces and emotional adventures with your dog, to time-traveling anime epics and revolutionary Indian fantasy, the future of our favorite genre is looking brighter and way more challenging than ever. Now I've got to turn it over to you. Which of these games just shot to the top of your personal wish list? Are there any other huge ones you think we missed? I really want to know what you guys think, so get down in those comments and let's talk about it. If you enjoyed our deep dive today, do me a huge favor and hit that like button, and make sure you're subscribed to Magic Game World so you don't miss our next video. Thanks so much for hanging out today, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.